Hi, my name is Vena. I'm originally from Rare, but I live in Nandi. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm John from Cornabuan, Tafua. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks.
Bula, I'm Teopola.
Bula, I'm Makanisi.
We love listening to Today FM because it rocks in Ba.
Bula, my name is Tisa. I've been listening to Today FM.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news, dengue fever outbreak confirmed. Parties hedge bets on possible coalition. And human rights body looks into child abuse cases.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
A dengue fever outbreak has been confirmed by the Ministry of Health and Medical Services. 913 people across Fiji were diagnosed from January to April this year. Pranita Prakash has more.
The Health and Medical Services Ministry says reports of dengue fever are higher than any normal year. During the same period last year, there were only 278 cases.
It's very important that people realise what the situation is, what the symptoms of dengue are, and what action they can take, both should they experience the symptoms, but also, probably more importantly, what steps they can take to help prevent the spread.
National Advisor Communicable Diseases Dr. Mike Kama confirms one person has died during this period, but there were other related complications.
One death, but this is due to complications. So this death was related to hemorrhage that was already inherent in the patient.
The ministry is also urging people to reduce mosquito density by cleaning up and discarding the breeding sites of dengue mosquitoes.
The ministry has been conducting spraying from January of this year, but that is not fundamental or the basic way to prevent mosquitoes. After spraying, we need to do the cleanup because we need to get rid of the larvae. So we can knock down the adult mosquitoes with spray, but not the larvae.
The 913 cases reported so far, 85% were notified from the Central and the Western Division. The Ministry of Health is calling on people to seek medical assistance in cases where severe dengue fever is suspected. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
A major reform of the Fiji police force can be expected come the announcement of the 2017-2018 budget. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports a separate budget is being proposed to the Ministry of Economy for this reform.
The Fiji police force has been reviewing its internal structure systematically since July last year. This internal review has ended and major changes can be expected.
The Commissioner of Police is putting forward a proposal to the Minister of Economy, and we hope that it will be approved, a budget for the restructuring of the police and the reforms for the police force.
Since taking up the Minister for Defence and National Security portfolio in September last year, Ratu Inoke Kumbuambola makes his first visit to Vonolyapu today to see police operations on the ground. The lack of manpower is one of the main issues raised during briefings with officers at Nambowalu, Lekutun, Riketi and Senganga.
So the population in our area of operation is 4,534. Breakdown figures 2,953 Itoke, 1,494 Indo-Fijian and 87 others. Ratio 1:906.
The international standard is one policeman to 400 people. What we've been hearing today is one case, one to 1,000, 1 to 900 people. So it's really, our police stations and police posts are really undermanned.
Kumbuambola says he is surprised to see the working conditions of officers in the outposts.
I am surprised that this has been neglected over the years from past governments. The accommodation, good office accommodation and residential accommodation, and the lack of manpower for our Fiji police force.
The minister will be in Vonolyapu in the next 3 days, visiting all the police stations, police posts and community posts to see their overall operation and talk with officers on the ground. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
Leader of Sadelpa, Sitiveni Rambuka, says a coalition is necessary to gaining more seats in the next general election. Rumbuka says talks are currently ongoing with 3 political parties that contested the 2014 elections, in addition to a number of independents. Maggie Boyle reports.
Last week, SODOPA engineered talks with the Fiji Labour Party, the People's Democratic Party and the Fiji United Freedom Party.
The parties have the mandate of their management boards. I have the management board approval to go ahead and have talks.
PDP President Linda Tamboya says other than winning seats, they want to ensure their voters that they're representative.
It really is about uniting the opposition votes in order to have a better chance to, to take on Fiji First. Look, it's nothing personal, obviously. It's really just a strategy.
For the UFF party, one of their utmost aims is to unite Fiji as a nation, and this they feel can be done through a diverse coalition. Rumbuka says the current electoral system is a numbers game that smaller parties can bank on if they stand together.
It is, we find that it is necessary for us to go in because of that. Because if we don't, then our tail-ender votes do not count, nor would theirs. So those tail-ender votes, for example, the smaller parties that are not in parliament had more votes than the National Federation Party that has 3 seats in parliament.
FBC News understands that FLP are also talking coalition given their humiliating 2014 defeat. Given that it could be a year out from elections, the political landscape is anyone's guess. Will there be more political parties or independents, or will coalitions be a force to be reckoned with? Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
13 people were charged with 25 separate incidents of rape and sexual offences last month alone. But what's more troubling is that 5 victims were under the age of 18. As Rachel Nuth reports, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions highlighted 4 cases were withdrawn while there was 1 false complaint from the victim.
In one of the serious incidents recorded last month, the accused is a 70-year-old man and the victim is a 13-year-old. While another incident involved a 32-year-old man and an 8-year-old boy.
I think it's very troubling whenever we have reports of children who have been subject to sexual abuse. It doesn't matter if they're boys or girls, but any child who's subject to this is a note of major concern.
There were 3 incidents where the victims were related to the accused persons. Out of these 3, there was 1 incident where the accused is a 37-year-old father and the victim is his 11-year-old biological daughter.
We know that Fiji is really no different from other countries. It's often people that the child already has contact with who are those responsible for abuse. That's why it's so important to ensure that children know what is acceptable and what isn't.
Another incident involved a 22-year-old accused person and a 40-year-old mentally impaired woman.
Very important that we talk about these issues, that we ensure that children are protected and that the rights of children are always respected by members of their family, by communities, and by government themselves.
There was 1 incident where a police sergeant was charged with indecently annoying a police corporal. Rachel Nuth, FBC News.
It is believed there are still many unreported cases of child abuse in Fiji. This is due to many children not knowing their rights, being unable to speak about the experiences, or who have been silenced. Kelly Vardalo reports.
The Fiji Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission is now seriously tapping into child abuse cases in the country, especially those swept under the carpet or kept behind closed doors.
A much more serious issue for us is the fact that a number of these cases go unreported. A lot of times children go through abuse and they don't even realize that they've been abused. And years down the lane, they realize that, look, this was actually abuse because, it's had a cumulative effect.
Many Fijians say child abuse has been hitting headlines for years as it is rapidly increasing. They say more effective awareness is needed to protect children.
The best way to prevent this is to make more awareness.
Kids when they're growing up, and also maybe I think it's the other way, community.
To be protectors and more awareness.
Human Rights Director Ashwin Raj says they are now looking at certain initiatives to help children come forward and report such issues.
The thing we are doing is we are appointing a child desk officer. This officer is going to be specifically dealing with some of these issues, right? What is the extent of the abuse? Then thinking about what are the ways in which we can, sort of proactively address some of these things and who are the key stakeholders. And nobody can do it alone.
According to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, 5 children under the age of 18 were victims of sexual abuse offences last month. Human Rights Director Raj says more action now needs to be taken to ensure children are protected, informed about their rights and properly counselled even in school. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Still to come, Budgetary mine audit continues. And who will be the last man standing? Details after the break.
हम लोगों में रहते हैं और मिर्ची एफएम सबसे बेस्ट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम मेसी है, हम गोल्ड टाउन तापुआ में रहता है और मिर्ची is hot in तापुआ।
Hi, we Bajels. We love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
निवेश तमराव में रहता हूँ, सुनता है यहाँ मिर्ची एफएम is very hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Today FM Last Man Standing continues to heat up as they go into the 9th hour of the competition. 7 competitors were eliminated after 4 hours because they didn't return in time after the first break. Sainiani Boiler reports.
Go check it out.
It's the survival of the fittest. The 32 competitors are currently battling it out on the Today FM Last Man Standing competition.
This is a continuous competition, so every 4 hours there's only a 15-minute break for them to go and use the toilets and go and meet their families and eat. But yeah, the lack of sleep is what might affect most of them. So right now we, as a team, we are deciding on, trying to figure out and guess how long they will last. So the highest would be like a week, and if they do last for a week, they deserve a car.
Earlier this morning, competitors made their last call and their last chat with loved ones before they kick off the competition.
Personally, I feel lucky to be one of the chosen 35, apart from all the callers that we have received, FBC had received. But today, yes, I'm ready. As you can see, I'm here, that's why I know I will take the car home and I will take it back to Tamobua this
Great. I've been practicing for a couple of months, and yeah, I have to just abide by this weather. And since I'm from Nandi, so oh yes, I came a long way for this car, and surely I feel like that I've got confidence that I'm gonna take this car.
Fans and supporters came out in numbers to get a glimpse of this unique competition. With competitors striving to be the last man standing, the winner only time will tell. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
The competition is into its 7th hour now, and these are live pictures from outside the FBC studio. There has been one more elimination this evening after one of the competitors moved a hand. 24 now remaining, and reports are that some are beginning to show fatigue, but now that they're on break for 15 minutes, they should be back stronger and fitter for the next 4 hours. The fate of 6 former Public Works Department employees and a businessman charged with abuse of office will be known soon. Assessors have been deliberating all afternoon after a lengthy summing up in the Suva High Court today. The former employees of PWD are Ana Langere, Amelia Vunise, Laisa Halafi, Vadiseva Langai, Vilisi Tuitavuki, and Kiniviliame Taviraki. It is alleged that the 6 abused their office to the extent of almost $363,000 in 2010. The former employees allegedly facilitated the processing of false payments to be made to 3 companies, namely On Time Stationery Supplies, Chevelle Stationery Supplies, and Phoenix Hardware Engineering and Supplies Limited, which was owned by Shelvin Narayan, the 7th accused in this case. Narayan has pleaded guilty and is awaiting sentencing. He also gave evidence as a prosecution witness in the trial. According to the court, the evidence produced shows 101 transactions were made to the 3 companies through 60 checks. Allowances for village headmen, reactivation of community health workers, plus other cultural programs are some of the new initiatives put forward by the Itauke Affairs Ministry. According to the Itauke Affairs Permanent Secretary Naipote Katanitambua, the first round of their consultations is concluded, and now they have been asked to justify their proposed 2017 to 2018 budget proposal. Savara Tambor reports.
The Itauke Affairs Ministry is hoping their submissions will be taken into account, especially on their new initiatives and the existing programs in place. Itauke Affairs Ministry Permanent Secretary Naipote Katanitambua says they were satisfied with the baseline provided by the Ministry for the upcoming budget and is hoping their submissions will be considered.
We had just begun our first round of consultation. We're being requested to provide more justification as why we need all those new budget for the ministry and for the board, and we'll be awaiting the second round of consultation where we can again table our justifications. But in the meantime, we are happy with the baseline budget that are being provided for the next financial year.
Katanitambua says other aspect includes village bylaws awareness programs and the demarcation of unsurveyed lands which need financial support.
Some describing is very new to the Vanua, but we need more awareness and consultation. And we're hoping that the Ministry of Economy will consider our request in terms of the awareness programs that we still need to continue in the village level.
The second round of budget consultation for the Itauke Affairs Ministry is expected to begin either this week or next. The national budget will be announced next month. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
An audit of 2 underground shafts at the Vatukola gold mine is progressing well. Vatukola Gold Mines Limited Corporate Services Manager Dinny Laufenberg told FBC News the Mineral Resources Department has been on site for more than a week now. No time frame has been given on the completion of the audit. Director Mineral Development Dr. Racheli Tanga says they hope to be done soon so that the company is able to work on any remedial issues. Dr. Tanga stresses the safety of underground work is what they would like to see maintained and ensured by the VGML for the workers. Underground operations at the gold mine have been on hold since 18th April following injuries and a loss of life. Ahead in sports, Jamie has the Fiji Mbati lineup set to face Tonga this weekend, but joining us now is Rachel with business.
Thank you, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. 2017 Tourism Expo shapes up.
I'm Rafnil from Nekota and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Stanley Godler and I'm from Australia, but I'm part Fijian from Watraki, and I love listening to Today FM Rocks.
For the best music and less talk, we tune into Today FM in Nasalai Village. Today FM rocks.
My name is Inai Ali and I'm from Ba, and I love the big breakfast on Today FM. I just love it and hope you love it too.
My name is Jay from La Paz. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Naushin and I'm from Sambeto, and I love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In business tonight, Tourism Minister Fayaz Koya will be leading a delegation to present a sevu-sevu to Tuinandi Ratuvuniani Dawai in Narewa village on Wednesday. The sevu-sevu is being done to adhere to traditional protocols and seek Tuinandi's blessing ahead of the beginning of the Fijian Tourism Expo. The expo will be held from the 4th to the 5th of May at the Sheraton Fiji Resort in Denarau, Nandi. Koya will also be accompanied by the Tourism Fiji Chief Executive. Meanwhile, the Sofitel General Manager says they look forward to this year's expo as they expect more buyers compared to the previous years.
It's mainly because you're getting international buyers coming in, so they're seeing Fiji firsthand. You know, sometimes you can have buyers who might be in, say, Europe, who have never been to Fiji before, so they're selling Fiji without really experiencing what Fiji is like.
The two-day Tourism Expo will provide a platform for those in the industry to actively engage with more than 160 international buyers from 14 different countries. And now it's time to look at what the action has been like on the South Pacific Stock Exchange, and Savanatha from HFC Bank has more.
Vinaka Rachel. Looking at our local stock market, we had 3 public shares being traded last week: Amalgamated Telecom Holdings Limited, FMF Foods Limited, and Fijian Holdings Limited. In terms of volume traded, a total of 6,497 shares exchanged hands, accumulating to $12,633 in over 8 transactions. When compared to the previous week, there was a decrease by 61.95% for volume traded and a decrease of 65.44% for value traded, respectively. Although share prices stayed constant in last week's trading, the overall capitalization continues to stand at an all-time high value of $1.364 billion. That's it from your local stock market. Vinaka Rachel.
Thanks for the update, Save. On to today's exchange rates. The Fijian dollar weakened against the Chinese yuan and the American dollar, closing at 3.22 and 46 cents respectively. Closer to home, the Australian dollar also dropped to close at 62 cents, while the New Zealand dollar rose, closing at 67 cents, and the PNG Kina went down to close at 1.30. Onto the commodities market, oil prices rose over the weekend to close at $49.33 a barrel. Gold followed suit, closing at $1,266 an ounce, and silver dropped to close at $17.19 an ounce. And in growing Fiji, one of Fiji's most iconic island resorts in the Mamanuthas, Treasure Island, continues to improve and renovate itself to cater for the growing tourist numbers.
We are very, very conscious of our environment and so forth, so we have a very big environmental program. We're part of the Head Start program for hawksbill turtles, and we have released nearly 400 turtles this year, which have had a much greater chance of survival in the wild, so that's fantastic for the turtle population of the world.
And that's it from Business Tonight. Now to sports, and here's Jamie with the latest.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead in sports.
Well, te vitarokuta mai kono kula nrasa lutoka doba talenta kana warong na radio Fijian.
Bulan arango fina mai korviri nandi auto talenta kana warong na radio Fijian na programa ni mas masu na mataklailai.
Oya ochone kurinambila mai bunangoru na makete hinga toka kwe do talenta kina na warong na radio Fijian kina na domoiviti.
Na radio Fijian na domoiviti na vonga ni bienani.
Hong Kong-based Jared Lum could feature for Fiji in the FIFA World Cup Stage 3 qualifier against New Caledonia in July. PGFA Chief Executive Mohammed Yusuf confirmed this on FPC TV's Vodafone Sports Lounge show. Rohit Deo with the story.
Football in Hong Kong, highly paid. A midfielder uses both legs, prolific scorer, goal scorer. We are trying our best to bring him in for the World Cup qualifiers against New Caledonia. We have left our shows. And I've gained good knowledge, come back and blend with our local footballers, and then everybody lifts their performance to the level. Australian under 17 and under 20 teams, but he didn't probably make it or didn't want to play and move to Asia.
The Nandi football side defeated Ba 1-0 at the Vodafone Premier League yesterday, reigniting its chances of winning this year's title. The Jet Setters have 10 points after 7 matches and will need to come out firing in the second round of the game.
This goal from Ratu Josefata Nungangi was enough to secure Nandi's third win in this year's National League.
This was our first home game, so we wanted to win. I think the crowd played their part. We asked them to come and support us over the week, and I think I'm quite happy with the number of fans that turned out.
Nandi missed some players in this match and will be looking to strengthen its side ahead of next week's Vodafone Fiji Fect.
We will now look at our fitness and prepare for the Fiji Fect. There is still some players who are yet to come back to the team, but there are some young boys that we introduced today. A couple of players who have made their debut, so happy with the win.
Park can only look back at the chances on goal and realize that they were their worst enemy.
We missed so many golden opportunities. We could not capitalize on the
the balls up in the front, and it has cost us the game.
The National League is on a break this week as teams prepare for Fiji Fect. The pool matches will be played next week at Nasoris Ratu Kambau Park. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Fiji Mbati to play Tonga in the Pacific Test this Saturday has been named. Big names in the squad include Melbourne Storm Suliasi Vunivalu, Wanga Blake of the Penrith Panthers, Apisai Koroisa of the Manly Sea Eagles, and the Sims brothers, Tariq and Corbin. Kane Evans, Kevin Nangama, James Thora, and Tane Milner are also in the squad. The match kicks off at 6:30 p.m. on Saturday in Australia. The Ministry of Youth and Sports is still in the process of collecting data before making any decision on the amendment of the National Youth and Sports policies. According to Minister Laisine Tuitumbo, the feedback from the general public was not too good. Tuitumbo says they are targeting at least 400 responses before making any decisions.
We understand majority of where we go was we were concentrated on website. And in some places, they are not accessible to website. So what we have done, we have told the principal youth officer in each division, the 4 divisions, we had at least 100 each.
Former Fiji walk race champion Pramesh Prasad won 3 gold medals at the World Masters Games in Auckland last week. Before the boxing match between Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko even began, many had already predicted it would be one of the heavyweight division's greatest in recent time. Both boxers not disappointing fans, going pound for pound until the 11th round, where the youth and speed from Joshua eventually took its toll on the former world champion. A day after the biggest fight of his career, and Joshua is still trying to soak it all up. New Zealand's weakest Super Rugby outfit, the Auckland Blues, defeated the Australian Conference leading Brumbies 18-12 last night. In today's Play of the Day action from the English Premier League football competition, today Chelsea closed in on the Premier League title by defeating Everton 3-0. And it was a beautifully timed long-range strike from Pedro Rodriguez that got the ball rolling for Chelsea. That's it from Sports Tonight. In our new media segment right after the break, find out how to have secret conversations on Viber. But up ahead, Angie is back with weather.
कमल रोशनी है, हम लोगों में रहते हैं और मिर्ची एफएम सबसे बेस्ट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम मेसी है, हम गोल्ड टाउन तापुआ में रहता है और मिर्ची इज हॉट इन तापुआ।
Hi, we Bagels. We love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
निवेश तावरा में रहता है, सुनता है यहाँ मिर्ची एफएम is very hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
In new media tonight, ever feel like you need to keep a conversation a secret? Well, Viber has made that possible. And it's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It's the first day into May. Well, time surely flies fast and so does the weather pattern, as the day started off with gloomy conditions and stayed like that throughout. Now, where's our sunshine at? Now, taking a look in the west, it was mostly cloudy with temps around 28 and 29 degrees. Quite a relief from humidity, I guess. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, it was also cloudy with few showers expected by later tonight. And up in Vanua Levu, a few thunderstorms were experienced with heavy showers indicated for later tonight. A very interesting change as Lambasa and Savu Savu were at 26 degrees. They were super cool up there. At sea, easterly winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. And for those that have fishing plans for tonight, then do note high tide will be at 11:08 with a low tide at 5:08 tomorrow morning. Sunrise will be at 6:20, of course, tomorrow morning. Also tomorrow, it will be much like today, but rain will tag along. The northerners can expect severe showers. And tomorrow's temps, Nandi will be a bit warmer than the rest with a high of 31 and a low of 23. And looking further on to Wednesday, many centers will have showers, but it looks like our friends up in the north will have more rain. And that, Jackie, is our gloomy FBC weather for tonight.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In the world of the weird and the wonderful tonight, a British police officer who crawled the London Marathon in a gorilla costume has raised more than $42,700 for charity. The 41-year-old, who went by the name Mr. Gorilla, crossed the finish line 6 days after the race started. On Fiji Impulse today, we asked the public, should Water Authority of Fiji use all media to advise about water cuts?
Water Authority should use other sources of mediums, because with the technology nowadays, everyone has access to that information.
All mediums should be used. The first one should be a simple text can be sent to all phones. Everybody is using mobile now.
Yes, I do suggest that they should use all sorts of media to help the public be aware that there will be water cartridges as well.
Recapping the main stories, dengue fever outbreak confirmed with more than 900 confirmed cases. Coalition talks underway between 4 political parties, and Today FM Last Man Standing competition sees some early eliminations. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question results, we had asked last week, do you think the Coke game should be moved to the West next year? 74% answered yes. This week's question, are we doing enough to help people with depression? Visit our FBC website to answer. Onto our shot of the day, and it comes from Patine Simpson, a view of crystal blue waters in the hidden paradise of Savu Savu, popular with sailors from around the world. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News, or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight from the team and I. Good night.
Warong na radio Fiji 1.
Bulan evango fina wa korabiri nandi au talitaka na barongo na radio Fiji 1 na programa ni masmasu na mataklailai.
Oya ochone kurinambila mai Bunagoro na makete hinga toka kwe do talitaka na barongo na radio Fiji 1 gene na domo iviti.
Na radio Fiji 1 na domo iviti na bonga ni bienani.